Hello and welcome to this week's spelling lesson. For this lesson, you will need something to write on and something to write with. If the lesson moves too quickly, please do pause it. I'm going quite quickly to keep the video length as short as possible. You might need extra time to write your answers. Just pause it as we go along. This week, we are going to look again at another prefix. What is a prefix? Can you choose the right answer? Is it the first one? A prefix is a group of letters that goes at the end of a word to change its meaning. Or the middle one, a prefix is a word or group of words that comes at the start of a sentence and tells us about the verb or the sentence. Or the last one, a prefix is a group of letters that goes at the start of a word to change its meaning. Make your choice. Hopefully you pick the last one. A prefix goes at the start of a word to change its meaning. Look at this week's spelling rule. Here are some words which use it. Which prefix do these words all have? The prefix they are all using is inter. Can you guess what that prefix means? The prefix inter means between, among, or within. Here are your spelling words for this week. Interact, international, interrelated. Let's practice these inter prefix words. The first word this week is interact, a verb, which means when people interact with each other, they communicate as they work or spend time together. I've deliberately highlighted the word with after our spelling word interact because very often the word interact will be followed by the preposition with in a sentence, such as I interact with you during this lesson. Synonyms for interact include interrelate, interconnect, link, work alongside, communicate. Here are a couple of sentences using the word interact. While the other children interacted and played together, Ted ignored them. And the second one, rhymes and songs help parents interact with their babies. Here's the word again, interact, little picture of some people interacting with each other. Let's think about the syllables in this word. Can you clap them with me? Interact, interact. 3 syllables in this word. I've split the word into 2 chunks for spelling. The first chunk is inter, the second chunk is act. Take a picture of those 2 chunks with your brain. Try and memorize what they look like. And can you write down the first chunk? You've got 4 options to choose from. Yep, you should have chosen the first one, inter, I-N-T-E-R. Now, how does the word end? What's the second chunk? Hopefully you picked act. Interact. Okay, rub off or fold over what you had before. Don't look at it. Now see if you can pick the correct spelling from this choice of 4. That was the correct one, interact, the third one along. Again, rub out what you've done or cross it off or fold it over. Use your memory to try and fill in the blanks. It should look like this. You should have filled in T-E-R-A in the middle of that word, interact. Can you write it backwards? This shows if you really understand the way the letters fit together. Sometimes I write it forwards and then I write it backwards. It will look like this, kataretni. And now finally, write the word from memory. Interact, I-N-T-E-R-A-C-T. If you spelt it correctly, give yourself a pat on the back. If you didn't, keep practicing, go back over the beginning of this video, keep playing those little games to help you remember the order of the letters. Second word this week is international. It's an adjective, a describing word. Definition is this. International means between or involving different countries. Synonyms for international include global, worldwide, universal. Here are a couple of sentences using our word international. The World Cup is an international football competition. King's Cross is an international train station. Here's our word again, international. Very long word this week, so we need to break it into a few more chunks than the one before. Let's think about the syllables first of all. Clap along with me. International. International. 5 syllables in this word. I'm going to put the first 2 back together again because that's our prefix and we should be starting to recognise that little spelling group together. Inter. Then we've got na. Then shun, which is actually a spelling rule that we've learnt before. It's usually used as a suffix, shun. And then we've got al right on the end. Inter, na, shun, al. Take a picture with your brain. Try and picture what it looks like. And then let's move on to practicing. Okay, 4 chunks we've split this word into. Can you put the first chunk down on your piece of paper or whiteboard? Inter. Which one of these 4 is it? Should be getting easier now. That's right, inter, I-N-T-E-R. And then the next chunk is na. Which one is it going to be? International. Then we've got shun. Which of these is the correct spelling of that chunk? That's right, T-I-O-N. And finally, how does the word end for the ul? International. Which one of these? It's A-L. Well done. Like this, international. Okay, without looking at what you wrote before, can you pick the correct spelling from these 4 variations? The first one was the correct one, international. Without looking at what you've written before, can you fill in the blanks here? It should look like this, international. You should have filled in the green letters. Can you write it backwards? Really long word. Have a go. It will look like this, lan noi tan retni. And finally, without looking at anything you've practiced, can you write international from memory? I-N-T-E-R-N-A-T-I-O-N-A-L, international. Well done if you spelt it correctly. If you didn't spell it correctly yet, keep practicing. Rewatch that bit of the video if it helps. Next word, interrelated. Another adjective. Definition is this: things that are interrelated are connected to each other in some way. Synonyms are linked, similar, allied, alike, associated. We can use it in this way. Here are 2 examples of sentences. I like the way the characters are interrelated in the novel. That means they have things to do with each other. The 2 problems are closely interrelated. That means the problems are linked together in some way. Let's clap the syllables. It's another long word. Interrelated. Interrelated. 5 syllables in this word. I'm going to split it into 3 spelling chunks. Inter, which is our prefix. All 3 words have that prefix. That bit should be getting easier now. The middle of our word is re, spelled R-E. And finally, lated. So you've got the word late, L-A-T-E, using a split digraph, and then D on the end. Lated, interrelated. Take a picture with your brain and let's practice. Can you write the beginning chunk? Pick from those 4 options. It should be the first one, inter, I-N-T-E-R. How do we put re in the middle? Which of these 4 options is it? Choose one. Hopefully you chose the right one, R-E. Inter-re and lated. You've got 4 choices there at the bottom. Which one's correct? L-A-T-E-D, lated. Interrelated. Okay, here's the word written without any chunks or gaps. Which one of these is correct? It's this one, interrelated. please take note of the double R in the middle, which is more obvious now the chunks are all put together. It has two R's because the prefix has an R, inter, just like in the other two words we've learned, and related, the root word relate, starts with an R. So we keep both of those R's when we add the prefix to the root word, interrelated. Let's fill the blanks in on this version of the word. Should look like this. You should have added R-E-L-A-T into the middle there. Interrelated. Two R's, remember. Can you write it backwards? Detaleretni. And finally, try and write the word from memory. Don't look at anything you've practiced already. Use your brain. Interrelated. I-N-T-E-R-R-E-L-A-T-E-D. If you spelt it correctly, very well done. If you didn't quite spell it correctly yet, keep on practicing. You can watch this video as many times as you like. Okay, here are 3 sentences with words missing. Can you put the correct spelling word into the correct sentence? The first one says, it's lovely to see how the puppies, which one? The flight to Berlin leaves at 3 p.m. and the stories in the book are all, you choose. The first one should have been interact. It's lovely to see how the puppies interact. That means how they play with each other. And the second one, the middle one, was international. The international flight to Berlin leaves at 3 p.m. That means the plane is going from one country to another one, Germany. That makes it international. It's going between countries. The stories in the book are all interrelated. That means all the stories in the book have something to do with each other. So hopefully that helps you understand how to use the words in sentences a little better. Your turn now. I want you to write your own sentence for each of the words. Take a picture of your sentences and upload them to Class Dojo. And then when you're reading today or anytime this week, can you spot any words that use that prefix inter? It doesn't have to be our 3 spelling words. It can be any word that uses inter. Internet comes up quite a lot. You might spot that somewhere. Okay, so thank you for joining me in the spelling lesson today. I hope you enjoyed it. Upload your work to Class Dojo and we'll have another spelling lesson next Monday. Well done, everybody.